Hello, everybody. So I'm very much looking forward to this. What you're going to have here is a video that I think should give a lot of clarity when it comes to the assessment. In this video, I actually walk you through an analysis that is a little bit more extensive, and I specifically took an example that is very similar to the types of analysis that you guys are doing in your assignment. And as I will go through the video and through the analysis, it's basically a live coding session. And what's useful about this is that you can kind of see how things look from my perspective. Of course, I am an experienced R user, have been doing this for a long time, and you're not expected to know all of this. But what I think you can see is something that should reassure you, which is that you'll see me getting error messages, you'll see me Googling stuff where I forgot about the command. And so just this should help you to realize that even experienced programmers, people who've been doing this for a long time, constantly encounter issues, and then they just kind of work through them on a trial and error basis. And I hope that in this spirit, with this spirit, you're also approaching the assessment. I think as I'll go through everything, I'll highlight things that are important specifically for the assessments, things that I think we should focus on, in particular when it comes to transparency of the analysis, which includes transparency of reporting. And so one of the things that I will do more in this particular exercise is I will actually generate a Word document that includes a description of the results that we generate in this analysis, so that you can actually see how to write up your results, and this very directly translates to your assessment. So in many ways, you just have to plug in your own analysis. Now I should say that this turned out to be a little longer than expected. So here on this side, I'm like a YouTuber. On this side, you have the playlist. And like a lot of these videos turned out a little bit longer. That's just because I encountered some issues along the way that I didn't think about. And that's just the way data analysis goes. But I think working through this will be hugely beneficial to you. And after that, you should feel no no fear in particular, no stress when it comes to the assignment. And I hope that you can approach this in a kind of calm way, just powering through with this. Now, I will, in the absence, since I'm not going to go back to campus right now because of what's going on, and we can talk about that in a second. But because of that, I will actually generate a survey that I'll distribute at some point next week, where you can answer ask all sorts of questions that you have about the assignment, things that are unclear. Do you expect us to do this? How are you going to mark this? And I'm going to use that to then give you a response, just so that you know exactly what's expected, that there's no questions, that there's no insecurity, and so that way I can kind of like scope out what are some of the common questions. And I hope that this is helpful to you. And I have to say, I think this particular approach, pointing at the playlist here again, will be more useful than actually being there in class tomorrow on Monday physically, because it's good to have a detailed video record of this analysis and see this in a live coding fashion. So I hope that you see that this is very much making up for the content that we would have lost anyway. But I mean, as you know, we are right now in the more applied section of the class anyway, so this really fits. And the content that I had planned for Monday to deliver in class, I think works even better as a video, it turns out, after all. So that's pretty good. And then just to reiterate, harkening back to some of the discussion that we had on Monday, just briefly commenting on the current situation. I stand by what I said on Monday, which is that we should not panic. Panic is one of the worst things that can happen. And you have to follow the official guidance. So there's been a bunch of different emails that the university sent. If you have questions about stuff, make sure, because there's a lot of misinformation currently being spread. A lot of people who are not experts, who have strong opinions about what the right thing to do is, stick with the science. Look at what does the NHS say, what does the World Health Organization say, and while there is a lot of controversy and nobody really knows what the best approach is, a lot of the science seems to suggest, I mean, this is also being disputed, but it seems to suggest that self-isolation is one of the best measures to slow the spread of this. And so with this in mind, that's why I took the decision early on to deliver the content this way. Because it is a low-cost thing to do as a video, and so I'm not saying that you have to decide, you have to make a decision about this for yourself, but do follow the official regulations. Because we need to be responsible not for ourselves, but in particular for the vulnerable people with pre-existing conditions that are very affected by this. And so we have a responsibility for that. But that's just my comment. I am not an expert on this, and I think it's important that you stick with the official regulations. But just to clarify then, tomorrow's class will be these videos, and I am always available to you via email because I'm still continuing to work during this time, just from back home, which you're seeing back here. So I can answer all of your questions via email, and if you feel like you need a one-on-one meeting, we can also have Google Hangout sessions if that helps you. I was going to do drop-in sessions next week anyway, and so that actually also fits because that's our last week. So in that case, I'm not actually going to be physically there, but I'm available either through Google Hangout drop-in sessions or to answer additional questions via email. So all I'm saying is I am still available to you and to help you out with the assignment, and we'll make this work together. So I'm looking forward to that, and I've heard about your ideas already, and I'm really excited about them. I think there's some really cool stuff in there. And so, yeah, good luck with everything, and I hope that this set of videos really helps you. So I would set aside 1.5 hours at some point today or tomorrow or at some point during the week, and I think this really should help you with stuff. Sorry, I've been rambling, but there we go. Enjoy the common week and these videos.